So, Shannon, how will it play out in the locker room if Dak holds out through camp and maybe into the season? How does that affect the team?
Well, I expected Sean Lee said exactly what I would expect him to say. There's nothing to dislike about Dak Prescott. Now, although I have not been around him extensively like Sean Lee has, the little bit I've been around him, he strikes me as a guy that prepares, that study hard, one of the first ones in the building, one of the last ones to leave. He's the consummate teammate. He's constantly rooting guys on. And he's been there. They've seen this guy, Skip, come in as a fourth-round draft pick with the expectations. It's not an easy job. It's not easy playing quarterback. It's not easy playing for what many perceive as America's team, which are the Dallas Cowboys. And he's come in there and he's passed this test thus far with flying colors. And Skip, they've watched Dak Prescott sit by patiently and watch player after player after player get paid. And all he's done was continue to go out there and perform at a very high level. And everyone in the locker room knows that he's vastly underpaid. But they also know that his time is going to come. And as he has been supportive of them getting paid, they will be equally as supportive of him getting paid. And Skip, you remember 2 years ago when the Le'Veon Bell, I said, Skip, I've played 14 years and I've been in a lot of locker rooms. I said, I've never seen a situation like this because one of the things that you don't do in a locker room is speak on another man's money. But I just wanted to make sure, Skip, because just because I played in locker rooms doesn't mean I've encountered every situation. So I got on the phone, and I called a lot of my friends that were in locker room. Some in the Hall of Fame, some not in the Hall of Fame. And they're like, and Toy Man, Skip, they're like, Sharpe, I've never seen anything like this. They said, even if you don't like a guy, you normally publicly put on a very positive face and root for the guy to get paid because at the end of the day, we're all in the same situation, Skip. We're all players. There's somebody upstairs that's paying us, and we know when it comes down to it, they would rather pay us less than pay us more. So it was very strange, and we saw what it did to their locker room, Skip. It was the beginning of the end of it unraveling because you saw the Le'Veon Bell situation and later the Antonio Brown situation. So Sean Lee said what I expected him to say because Dak has been a model citizen, played very well, been very supportive of other guys getting money. Now it's his turn. They will be equally supported.
Shannon, it's been a long time since you actually played in the NFL. Today's players are very different than the guys you played with, the guys you share the Hall of Fame with. New age, new way. So my fear is that if this goes where I think it's heading right now, I think there's high possibility that slowly but surely this locker room will turn on a young man that they love, believe in, honor, respect. That's Dak Prescott. Shannon, I've told you from the start, I don't like where we're heading with this. Yes, yes, yes. I told you from the start, Dak is highly respected in that locker room. Yes, yes, yes. He has become the face and the voice of this franchise. And I love him for that, and this team loves him for that. He does work hard. He has low ego, no diva, all of the right ingredients to be the leader of a potential Super Bowl team in Dallas, Texas. But this is a new day, a new age with new jealousies and resentments that can build quickly in a pro sports locker room. So, Shannon, what have we seen already just in the last 6-8 weeks? We saw battle lines drawn already in a shocking new way between Dak and Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. Remember the night that the police were called? I suppose one of Dak's neighbors thought he was violating the fewer than 10 people at your party rule. Remember that when the police got called to his house? Okay, and that he was violating any sort of new social distancing policy by having far more than 10 people over. And on Stephen Jones' radio show the next Monday, Stephen bluntly said that will never happen again, indicating that he had talked to Dak, sort of, if you will, slapped him on the wrist and said, you cannot do that as the face of this team and the leader of our franchise in this quarantine. And Dak fired back shots fired by issuing a statement, not through the Cowboys. He issued it to USA Today Sports. And in it, he said that the information in the report's completely inaccurate, and basically took a shot back at Stephen like, how dare you call me out publicly when you wrongly called me out publicly? So that was the first time I sat back. I told you right here on the air, battle lines are drawn in the sand now. It looks like they're, quote unquote, going to war. This is Dak Prescott. I thought he was team first, and now he's missing, obviously, the virtual OTAs, which could lead to missing training camp, however much there is of it, and preseason games, however many there are. And it could lead to a Le'Veon-type situation in which by July 15th, Dak says, I don't want to play under this franchise tag, 31.4. I want my money. I want big money. I keep telling you, I believe that he and his new agent want $40+ million a year. And maybe up to $150 million total guaranteed. It's so much more than anybody in the locker room has even thought about making, that it could start causing a little friction if the leader isn't there for them during training camp, when everybody is saying, hey, Dallas got a shot next year. Dallas had a great draft. Dallas had a very good offseason. Dallas has a pretty good chance to go far, go deep in the playoffs, but not without their leader. If he's not there for the new coach, Mike McCarthy, in training camp, they're going to be so far behind that they're going to get off to a bad start. And especially if he starts missing real games because he's drawn a deep line in the sand with Jerry Jones. Well, again, I like Andy Dalton, but I don't want to see it come to this because it could be team splitting, team wrecking. Again, you would probably love it. But you just gave me Exhibit A of team wrecking, and it was the 2018 Steelers. And I'm so happy you brought it up because I looked up the quotes last night from Ramon Foster, the player rep for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a veteran offensive lineman. Guess what he said? Ramon Foster said, of Le'Veon Bell, here's a guy who doesn't give a damn. I guess that's how it is, so we'll treat it as such. I just hate it that it came to this. He's making 7 times what I make, twice as much as Al Villanueva makes. And we're the guys who do it for him, who block for Le'Veon. And then Marquise Pouncey, these are veteran star offensive linemen. He chimed in and said, honestly, I think it's a little selfish. I'm kind of pissed right now, said Marquise Pouncey, who then concluded, obviously, it's Le'Veon over the Steelers, and we are the Steelers. Wow. I never thought I'd hear that from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought they were veteran, solid, unified, great coach, Mike T. I thought that veteran offensive line would hang together behind Le'Veon Bell. I thought they liked him. I never heard any animosity. And all of a sudden, they flat out turned on him. And I'm just saying, Shannon, I know you say, well, the linemen all got their money in Dallas. Yeah, they got some money. It's good money. It's not quarterback money. Just for the record, Zach Martin he'll make $11 million next year. Ty Smith will make $10 million. Lyle Collins will make $10 million. Then you go all the way down to a Connor Williams who'll barely make, he's a little under $1 million. All of a sudden, Dak wants 40? Wow. So he'll be throwing to a Michael Gallup who makes $975,000. That's, less than 40 times what Dak is asking for.
What you're trying to do? See, what you've done what you've done is what ownership and management has done for a long time. It convinces a certain group of player that you're one of us, when in actuality, you're not. You're just like Dak Prescott. There will come a time that you're so much family, they're going to release you or they're going to trade you. That's what they're going to do with family. See, with real family, Skip, you can't trade your son. You can't cut your daughter. But sometimes it's convinced, the ownership has convinced a lot of these players, we are the Cowboys, we are the Steelers, we are the Broncos. No, you're not. You're a player. And once you realize that that's all you are, yes, they will treat you fair. They will treat you comparable to your play. Jerry and Stephen Jones drew the battle lines when they walked up to the podium and said, Dak needs to work with us. Dak needs to give us a discount. We are the Cowboys. We're America's team. He understands that. They drew the battle lines, not Dak. If we're going to negotiate, we're going to negotiate. My negotiator with your negotiator. We're not going public with this. But you went public early on because what you tried to do is drum up support and say if Dak doesn't accept exactly what we offer, he's being selfish. He doesn't care about us. He doesn't care about winning. And the fans are like, man, I'm making $100,000 and Dak got an opportunity to make $30 million and he turns that down? Yes. Because you can't put it into your relative terms. You have to say, okay, you got a job, and you believe that you're worth $175,000, and all of a sudden your boss comes to you and say, nah, we just want to give you 50, 60. You're going to say, hell no. And that's what Dak is saying. Dak says, I'm worth more than this. Skip, you have to realize, Ty Smith signed that 10-year deal 3 years into his deal. He chose to do that. But they made, at the time, they made him the highest paid. Zach Martin, the same thing. Travis Frederick, the same thing. So Dak is saying, and plus, there is no position more premium. That's what you told me. You said in your 40 years of covering, it is the most important, it is the most valuable position in all of pro sports. So linemen and receivers shouldn't make what a quarterback make if the value is what you said it is. But this notion, and the Steelers should know better, is that they have, oh, we're a family, we're the Steelers. No, you're not. You're not a family. Those guys in that locker room, you are equal. They look at you guys as equal. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger is a better player than a lot of you, and he makes accordingly. But if you think Ben Roethlisberger is a Rooney, you're crazy. If you think Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey was Rooney, they're crazy. That's an absurd way to think it. But that's been going on for years, hundreds of years, that they can convince one or two. And it's like, bruh, you see how they treat us good? What you mean, us? No, they don't. So stop this notion. Dak is doing right. Everybody else, you got your money. Be supportive of Dak as he was of you.
Shannon, I never considered Ramon Foster and Marquise Pouncey housemen, you know, like gullible, dupable.
Well, that's what I think they are. If they think because they were speaking as the Rooneys, we're family, we're the Steelers. You're Marquise Pouncey. You got no stock in that because when it's all said and done, guess what? They're going to have somebody else in that same number on that same offensive line blocking for another back. And you're going to be just like Le'Veon Bell. You're going to be elsewhere.
Yes, but Shannon Sharpe, as much as I love my man Dak Prescott, his behavior recently has been shockingly uncharacteristic to me. I didn't see this in that man. And I know he deserves his money, but I still say there are rampant reports that the offer on the table is $35 to $36 million with around $110 million guaranteed. That's really fair, Shannon. I think others in the locker room right now are quietly rolling their eyes thinking, boy, that seems really fair for what Dak has accomplished so far and even projecting what he will accomplish. He's not Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's Lamar or Deshaun. He might one day achieve those levels, but he's 1-2 in the postseason. He's coming off an 8-8 season in which he went 1-5 against the good teams on the schedule. He's 5-13 in his career against teams that won 10 or more games. His touchdowns, interceptions are way worse against the good teams than against the teams you call garbage in easy games and empty calorie games. So if I just look at 1-2 in the playoffs, I can't say he deserves more than what's on the table right now. I think Jerry loves Dak. I think Jerry also believes he has a responsibility to his customers and to his locker room to hold that bottom line enough that they can have a quality, credible team around Dak over the next 5 years. And he can't absolutely obliterate the salary cap just because he loves Dak Prescott and believes he will be the long-term answer. And all of a sudden, if Dak is completely out of bounds with his demand, Jerry has to dig in and and defend the football team and its near future here. You want to see it blown up. You want to see Dak get absurd money. You want to see Jerry overpaid dramatically because you know it will kill my team in the end. But Jerry's saying this is even too rich for my blood.
Skip, let me ask you a question. Where was this defiance when Dak was grossly underpaid? I didn't hear you banging on the table saying Dak is underpaid. Jerry, you need to get back to the table and play Dak. I didn't hear anybody. I didn't hear his teammates squandering then in the locker room, rolling their eyes, saying, man, I can't believe they doing this to Dak. Man, that man only making $400,000 a year, and he's 13-3. He's rookie of the year. Where were those damn teammates then? Where were they rallying cry for Dak then? Where was Skip Bayless banging on the table when he was making $700,000, taking him to a playoffs, winning a game against Russell Wilson, in which you completely said time after time again that Dak Prescott is better than Russell Wilson? Now it's time for him to get paid. Where is Skip? Whoa, Jerry. Jerry can't blow this thing up. Jerry has got to do what's in the best interest of Jerry. And this is what I tell young guys. I said, look, the Dallas Cowboys, the Broncos, and the Steelers, they are companies. They are corporations. You, David Pearson, is a corporation. Joe Watercooler is a corporation. You need to think yourself as an entity, as a business. They're got to do their business. You got to handle your business. So don't be giving me a discount because guess what? When you outperform that, see, this is what bothers me about the NFL. Love it. Basically everything that you see behind me and what I have is because of the NFL. But what they do is that you sign a contract. You sign the contract. You outperform the contract. You sign the contract. Now, all of a sudden, I want more money because but you signed the contract, remember? No. Dak says, guess what? I outperformed the contract and I played it out. And you think you're going to give me what you gave Jerry Goff, what you gave Wentz when they had 2 years left on their deal? They got $110 million with years left. You want to give me $110 million with no years left? I wish I might. I'm a corporation. Jerry, you do what's in the best interest of you. And I'm going to do what's in the best interest of Dak Prescott because Skip Bayless has told me time and time again, I'm better than Russell Wilson. And right now, I'm better than Patrick Mahomes on some days. So now, all of a sudden, I'm about to get this big payday. Skip say, what, you didn't win no games against teams with winning record. Your touchdown to interception ratio is a little lower when you play teams with winning record. None of the things that he brought up when Dak Prescott last year or when Dak Prescott was winning division titles, this only came to the forefront once I'm about to get paid. Hold on, Skip Bayless, I've been coming late to work. See, I would have a problem if I showed up late to work and Fox never said anything. Not one word. I'm doing the job, getting it done, but as soon as the contract negotiation, you're like, Shannon, but you know you be coming late every day. Whoa, wait a minute. There wasn't a problem when I was doing well. Skip Bayless, you think you slick. You think you slick right there, Skip Bayless. You, and everybody knows it, you said Dak Prescott is better than Russell Wilson. That's what you said for 4 years. And now it's time to get paid. You talk about he ain't better than all these other guys. Where did it go, Skip? What happened? What happened in the last 3 months that convinced you that Dak Prescott was not a top quarterback as you've been saying for the last 4 years? Remember, you've been trumping for him for a long time, Skip.
Yeah. Shannon, you act like they have offered him $10.50 an hour. It's the best deal of any quarterback right now. It's on the table. He can be the highest paid right here, right now, if he just signs that dotted line. And what did I tell you from the start about my man, Dak Prescott? He is Brady-esque. Unfortunately, he went in the 4th round. Tom went all the way down in the 6th round, 199th player picked in the draft. Way back when. Tom Brady's still making the league pay for that. I want to see that same chip on Dak's shoulders because the thing that Brady did from the start was he did not get paid and he did not demand and hold out to be paid. He always took far, far less than market value. And what's his bottom line, Shannon Sharpe? It's 9 Super Bowls with 6 victories that should have been 7 or 8, thanks to Bill Belichick. The point is, Brady got to 9 Super Bowls taking less than market value so that somebody, Belichick or whoever pulls the strings up there could have more budget to surround him with a little better supporting cast, which became no supporting cast last year. But that's a whole nother story. But the point is, I thought cut out of the same cloth was Dak Prescott. I thought he realized, I am blessed out of the 4th round to be the starting quarterback for America's team. I get 12 national TV commercials. I don't know how much money it means to him, but it's a whole lot. He was already making a whole lot more money than most quarterbacks in most cities can make off the field. Probably nearly everyone but 2 or 3 of those quarterbacks. He might be at the top for all I know. So Shannon, he knows he's got a great deal. He has weaponry around him next year that could make this team a Super Bowl contender. You have to take what's on the table because it's really good. It's not going to be more than Mahomes, but you're not better than Patrick Mahomes. He won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson got to 2 Super Bowls, and he won a Super Bowl, and Shannon Sharpe thinks he should have won 2 Super Bowls. I don't, but it was close. So in the end, Dak Prescott hasn't gotten out of the 2nd round of the playoffs. He's 1-2. I can't defend that.
But you have been. So let me ask you a question. When did you realize that Russell Wilson is now better than Dak Prescott? Was it before or after he went to and won a Super Bowl? Was it before he constantly has his team in the playoffs, even though they stripped everything from around him? When did you realize that? Because for the last 4 years... Hold a minute. Hold on. You just said, 2 years ago, when Dak won that game, you said Dak Prescott is better than Russell Wilson. You constantly vouched and trumpeted that. But nobody believed that Dak Prescott... I didn't
constantly. I just did it that game. I said he outplayed him that game. Go look.
No.
He outplayed him that game.
I got it. Yeah. I got it. I've heard you. But all I'm saying is that Dak is saying, this is what basically Dak is saying in a nutshell. Skip, you made me play the contract out, Jerry. There will be, the discount comes in the beginning, Skip. It's kind of like, if I buy something, Skip, let's just say, I lease a car. Okay, if I extend the lease, I'm going to get a discount because I'm extending. I'm going to get a discount. But Skip, if the lease runs out, I'm not going to get the discount. You want a discount and you let the thing run out. The Cowboys let the contract run out. You know how this works.
No, wait. That's wrong. That is erroneous. That, as Dak said, is completely inaccurate. Shannon, they made an offer. They made a good offer a year and a half ago, and he said, absolutely not. They are entrenched. Correct. They want beyond Mahomes money. The offer got made back right on schedule with the Goff timing and the Wentz timing. They did it a year and a half ago. This has been going on quietly behind the scenes. And Dak said, no way, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking a Goff-Wentz kind of deal.
Skip, why would he take a Goff-Wentz deal when they have 2 years left on the deal and he had only 1, and that was going into the last year? You do realize as first-round picks, 1 and 2, they had what they call a 5th-year option that was already picked up. So Dak said, hey, they already got this in the bag. So why am I going to give you a discount when I ain't got nothing in the 5th year in the bag? Y'all need to pay for that. You know how this works, Skip.
They tried a year and a half ago, right? The first moment that they could make an offer to Dak Prescott, they made one. That's what I'm told. That's what I believe. Again, a lot of this hasn't come out yet. But Shannon, my bottom line to you is, if he starts holding out through camp, which I believe he will, if he starts missing real games, that locker room is going to turn on him, and it's going to say, man, we're seeing your true colors, and they are not metallic blue.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.